What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Wo Baza from Science Entertainment, and I'm glad to be back with y'all. I'm sorry for the sleepy face. Just finishing editing the trailer for a film that I was working on. Speaking of films, I am going to be working on some astrology, zodiac-based films coming up soon, and I'll be ready to let y'all know about that real soon. But anyway, today we're going to talk about Aries and Libra. Another compatibility video. What else would it be? You know what I mean? Everybody wants to find love. Everybody wants to find that person, that thing, that swing, that flang, that flang. Really whatever you want to find in life, you know what I'm saying? But like, if you're Aries or you're interested in the Aries and you're a Libra or you're interested in the Libra, then this video might be for you. And it's really for sun to sun sign compatibility, but I guess you can use it accordingly depending on whatever you're looking for. You know, if it's the Venus sign, the moon sign, the rising, etc., But we're talking general right now, so we're going to go with the sun sign compatibility. And yeah, man. And it's interesting with these two. Libras, if you're familiar with, are some of probably the most chill, coolest, go with the flow with it in the zodiac, and Aries maybe not so much. They might like to control the flow and where the water gonna go. You know what I'm saying? Because if you play with an Aries, you might get snipped. They're a little spicy. They a ram, might just run you off the cliff, off the mountain real quick. Don't play with them. But anyway, but now all seriousness, this really, and I just want to say this, right? Because depending on your chart, there's so many factors that can make this go either way that there's really no right or wrong way, right? Every Aries is not the same, every Libra is not the same. There's so many factors here combined that can make a huge difference in the outcome of this. And honestly, none of it matters even outside of that, because really the individuals decide how bad do you want it, how much are you interested, how much are you willing to compromise. All these factors are very important. So this just kind of gives you like what you might be prone to or privy to, you know what I'm saying? And just a little like a head start in a race, you know what I'm saying? Because it's all a race, because nothing in life is really meant to be easy. It's all about balance, baby. And that's the beauty in our charts, because most of us aren't just fire or air or water or earth, we're a combination of different things. And however you look at it, it's a beautiful thing. But speaking of that, let's talk about elements, right? That is air, earth, water, and fire. Aries is a fire sign. We all know, don't play with the matches, don't play with the fire. But yeah, so Aries is a fire sign, and Libra is a air sign. If you're familiar with air signs are more like logical, analytical beings. These people like to get to the mental understanding of things in order to kind of like decide things in a lot of instances. And also, they're more easygoing. Think about the wind. Think about how it just flows and how it goes. Sometimes it's uncontrolled, but for the most part, it's just always in motion. You know what I'm saying? Just going. And that's how it is kind of with the air sign. And fire, fire is a little different. Fire is more, I don't want to say reactive, but fire is more like passionate. Fire comes and it can scorch, it can burn, but it can also like heat, warm up, energize. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people say that air and fire go together and that their signs are compatible because air fuels fire, etc., etc. Just like a combination that just makes sense. It's more about the motion and the continuity of things going on, right? But I kind of feel that a little bit, but I feel like there's a lot of things in life that like all the elements necessary and they're all of equal value to me. So I feel like, especially depending on other aspects in your chart, like it's true, but it's not true too. It's whatever you make it, to be honest with you. So anyway, so that's something about the elements, right? And then you have modalities. Modalities are kind of somewhat a descriptionary term of how this element may be. There are 12 signs, there are 4 elements, and there are 3 signs in each element, right? And each one of those signs has a different modality. Those modalities can be fixed, mutable, or cardinal. Fixed signs, they're kind of more fixated in their beliefs and opinions, and that's kind of what they stand by, and they'll either hold steady to it and not change and not move, or be harder to move, where a cardinal sign is necessarily not fixed but just ready to attack. These individuals, they kind of just, they'll think about it after, but they'll just make that move, or they might even think about it in the process, but they just won't stop. They'll go first and then ask the questions later type individuals. Where mutable signs are more adaptable, they're more flexible, they're more easygoing, but there's also a little more indecisive. So for every single thing in life, and for every one of these categories, there's pros and cons. That's just kind of my take on it, right? So anyway, Aries is a cardinal fire sign. So think about it. A fire sign individual is usually a passionate individual, someone who everything they do is strong. They're not necessarily emotional, meaning like sad and like holding back or withdrawing or letting it affect their moods. Even though it is affecting their moods, it's more of like go with it and feel it, and just embrace it in what it is and take it on and keep going, etc. And so this is an individual who just kind of like thinks first. If you know anything about Aries, they're like the alphas of the zodiac, if you ask me. Not to say that they're better, but I'm saying that's how they perceive themselves. That's how they carry. That's how they behave, and not even in a negative way, because Aries are people who do usually get things done, and they're usually bosses, because you really don't really tell them what to do as much, because they're so focused on what they want to do and they just do that. But it's kind of like childlike, right? So there's no animosity behind it. It's just who they are. They just think of it as like first person point of view, almost all the time. You know what I'm saying? It's still not even the most selfish, because they might be giving. If they're passionate about whatever that is, if it's about a person, they'll go hard for that person. So Aries is just a very passionate individual who kind of will take the first step and like not even think about it, and then be like, "Oh, did I burn you? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. Like, I was just trying to accomplish what I was going to do, and I was going to do that regardless. So you know." I hope you understand. And if you don't, well, it's okay, because I already did it. So, But a Libra, right? It's interesting, because the Libra is actually a cardinal sign too, even though they are chill. But that's how they're just a certain difference between air signs, right? But this is also an easygoing, relaxed individual who kind of just goes with the flow. But they're a cardinal sign too, so they just go with what they feel. If they feel something, they'll just go hard for it. If you know anything about Libra, they're huge advocates. They advocate for things, and they're very opinion orientated. Anyway, opinionated. I don't know what's going on with me today. The thing about Libras is they're about balance, right? So even though they're very opinionated, they're also open to other opinions. These are the people that can almost advocate for everything. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if there's Libras out there who's like, I'm a Democrat and I'm a Republican. So are you just independent? No. I'm a Democrat, and you know what? I like that. I'm a Democratic, independent Republican. That's a Libra. You know what I'm saying? So like, I always make fun of my brother and his wife. They Libras, and they got that sign in the yard where it's like, science is loved here, everything is loved here, God's love, and I'm just like, dang, this is mad Libra right here. But anyway, so but that's what that energy is. It's about balance. So Libras need to be kind of like aligned on all fronts and able to express their opinions, and feel, and that's probably where they shine, because Libras, they're ruled by Venus, so they're about the love and the romanticism of life, right? They're about feeling good, happiness. It's huge for a Libra, but they also require balance, and they can't really be tipped too much on either side of the scale. Like, they really wouldn't know what to do, So you have someone who is in an Aries who is just extremely decisive, even if they haven't even thought it fully out all the way. But they're extremely decisive and will take that first step in the Libra. If they feel it and if it feels validated in their opinions and their emotions, then they'll just take that step as well. So this is actually something that can work together because both of these signs are cardinal signs, meaning that they'll both get up and go. Sometimes they might get in the way, but I feel like a Libra is extremely easygoing and can definitely like tolerate what's going on with the Aries. Not saying that the Libra might not be like, I'm gonna do my own thing and I'm gonna do it this way and still support, but like just know I feel like in that situation, right? Like it's probably more likely that the Libra is going to be more supportive than the Aries is going to be, but I can't necessarily say that because if the Aries is into it and its energy is fed into whatever that partner is doing, then they may go extremely hard and maybe even like buy you what you need for your business, et cetera, et cetera. But like just don't be surprised if that Aries maybe not isn't thinking about it the same way you are because one of your things is to bring balance. You kind of, especially if it's the female, and obviously there's no sexism here, but like it's just more of a nurturing nature than an Aries. Even if it's vice versa and the male is the Libra, he still may be more supportive. That's how much of a difference it is in just in the way in which they approach these things. It's really interesting here because Aries is kind of like go get it energy, right? Like I said, they usually see themselves as like bosses, and a lot of times they are because they're the people that's okay making decisions. But the thing about Aries is they don't really want to like follow up. They're the people that have the great ideas, they have the plan, they have the momentum to get people to do it, and then they just start it. They may not be there to finish it and to make sure it's fully fleshed out and to make sure that like every detail was tapped into and that it's actually successful. They probably want to drop off the idea, get it started, and then bounce, and go do that again. That's kind of like Aries energy, and it's not to say that they'll be, that's a bad thing or a good thing, but it just, I think that's something to just have in mind or be considerate of because, that's very much Aries energy. They want to be heard. They're not even really wanting to be heard. They just, for themselves, they just need to hear themselves because that's what they're thinking about. They're like, all right, this needs to be done. Let me do it. I can do it like this. We can do it like this. It can be done. Boom, bang, bang, bop. Get it done, bruh. And that's what happens, you know what I'm saying? So like really, and it's crazy because they usually put themselves in positions in which they can do that and people listen to them and whatever they usually want to get done gets done. That's the crazy part. That's how strong that energy is. It's very momentous, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of people who like, they can be like the leaders of war type stuff, and type people. And, I don't even mean to say that just to relate it to like Aries, the god of war, et cetera, et cetera. I just mean like, these are people who will just be ready. They're just ready type people naturally, and there's a time and place for that. There's a time and place for everything. So, that's a good thing. And for a lot of people, that's a great thing. For some people, not so much. But it really depends on what's in your chart because like this Libra, right? If they have maybe an earth sign Venus and then like a water sign rising, then the moon is in like water, this Aries might be a little too much for them. Might be too dominant, might be too mean, too narcissistic, too egotistical, and that might come off as a negative trait. But let's say this Libra, right, has a Sagittarius rising or like, has an Aries Venus or has something else in their chart that's necessarily won't look at things and take things too personally, too offensively. Because the Aries could be very brash, could be very like, this is what it is. What's up? Let's go do it. Oh yeah, I do love you, and like, but not thinking much of it. But someone who takes things very personally and very offensively may not be okay with that and may be hurt and emotionally damaged by some of this Aries. or whatever, like what they're giving them, But if not, and they do have a lot of aspects in their chart in which like this could be more of a correlative situation, like it might be perfect. It might be like, yeah, go get him. Get him, babe. I'm right there with him, riding shotty with the shotty. I'm not promoting gun violence at all, but just to prove my point, you see what I'm saying? Like, it could be that much of a difference. And if you really love this individual and you're willing to make it work, you understand that this person's still taking care of everything you need to take care of. Yeah, sometimes they might say something or might act in a way that I wouldn't do it, but hey, you know what I'm saying? The female might be like, lead me, baby. And the dude might be like, that's my chick. So it's like, it really depends, on what you're trying to do. So Libras, they need to feel restored. They need to feel balanced. They need to feel like they've done something, but then they also feel like they need to get away. Libras are really good at ghosting, right? Like, they're good at being there, being present, and then they'll ghost and be back like they never left because they just need to be, they're the scales. They just need to be rebalanced. You know what I'm saying? When things are shifted or out of order or not where they need to be, check on your Libra homie. You know what I'm saying? Call them up like, Libra, you okay? You okay? I don't know why I went Hispanic, much respect. But seriously, like, check on your Libra friend, or like, don't even worry because they're gonna do what they need to do and then come back. That's the cardinal thing, because even if they do feel sad, don't worry about them. Don't fret, because they're gonna be okay, because they're just gonna do whatever they need to do to rebalance, reshift the scales. You know what I'm saying? They might even snap on you. Like, a Libra is typically really chill, but don't be surprised if they need to box it out real quick. You know what I'm saying? Because that cardinal energy is serious, and even though they are chill, they're not really emotional. They're not really going to like think about it too hard. They can be pretty indecisive and it can come off wishy-washy, but it's not. Like, that's them. It could either be a defense mechanism. It could just be kind of like them being there, then them not wanting to be there, and that's okay too. Because air signs can, in general, right, be the most indecisive signs, but we could look at that as indecisiveness when it's in actuality, it could be them understanding the situation and, despite the circumstances, changing it to make it better, right? Some people might look at that as flaky or fake or whatever, but it really might be better in a lot of situations, in which, like, having the wisdom to understand that this situation in the present moment is not more important than what it can be in the next moment. So let me back out of this. You know what I'm saying? Like, a fixed sign or earth sign, you know what I'm saying, might be like, you're killing me. You're killing me, Smalls. But, you know what I'm saying, the air sign might be like, listen, no, I'm saving you. You know what I'm saying? So really, it's all situational, and it's really all based off of the people, because although this is very, I believe, to be accurate information, it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? If you really, it matters about, like, it's so many things, especially in the environment you live in, and, like, your family life, etc., that could play even in pivotal roles that might outweigh this. But this is just an understanding that, like, anything is possible, and we all can work together if we just understand ourselves a little bit more, right? I would say if you were Aries and a Libra, like I said, depending on other factors in your chart, they could all be different, right? But it's an Aries, like, you just try to think about the other person more. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that person has a voice too, right? And, like, although, you feel like you may have control of a lot of situations, which you probably do, like, just let that person be heard. That's really all that person wants, honestly. Let that person be heard. Let them know that you understand them, and just try to think about them, because them knowing you and understanding you, the fact that you're even thinking about it and presenting new situations and new ideas and just a new ear for them, I guarantee you're going to do numbers for you, all right? Just do that. And Libra, like, be a little more decisive, right? Like, especially with your partner, because it's somebody who really ain't gonna think twice and just do it. And I know you're gonna just do it too, but, like, if y'all ever get in situations in which, like, he just like, or she just like, what are you doing? Like, sometimes it's good to just go with what you feel, but sometimes You know what I'm saying? Make a decision too. Like, you know it's gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay. You're gonna be fine. You're not really gonna stress. They not really gonna stress. Y'all both gonna go to the next thing. And like, this is actually a relationship that can work pretty well, you know? I think the Libra could be very understanding here and work with the Aries, and the Aries can kind of provide a lot of entertainment and excitement in their life. Because a lot of Libras could be kind of chill too. So this might be a fun opportunity for you. In Aries, somebody who actually can balance you out, because you might be a hothead. You know what I'm saying? In a good way too, you know. It probably gets you a lot of your financial success, you know what I'm saying? In Libra, you being balanced, being able to be, you know, good in a lot of situations probably gets you a lot of financial success. Even though I feel like money come to you, you might not have to work as hard for it. In Aries, I feel like you kind of not that you work hard for your money, but you want to get the money you want to get, so you kind of like you demand that. And I feel like y'all can work together, you know, and really create something beautiful here, you know what I mean? So no one's wrong, no one's right. Just understand and communicate. That's really all it is in most situations. But you know, that's what I do. That's what I would do for y'all. Like, you know what I'm saying? Aries, let the Libra talk, and Libra like talk sometimes. You know what I'm saying? But you know, or you probably don't have a problem talking, but like back up what you say sometimes, maybe. And I think everybody gonna be good here. And like I said, it's a lot more in y'all chart. Check it out together. Do something together. You know what I'm saying? Big hug. Nah, but all seriousness though, like I think y'all could work. I think anybody could work, man. Y'all just keep on believing. Don't stop believing. Yeah. Holding that feeling, y'all. Peace.